Welcome to Red Beti Theatre's Decolonize Your Ears New Play Festival. Since time immemorial, Indigenous folk have been the caretakers of Turtle Island. As we gather and log in from different places, I want to acknowledge that Red Beti Theatre makes art on the traditional territories of many nations, including the Erie, Neutral, Anishinaabeg, Chippewa, Haudenosaunee Confederacy, Huron-Wendat, Seneca, Mississaugas of the Credit River. I also want to acknowledge that I have been a settler here for 25 years. And if the recent discovery of 215 children's remains at the Kamloops former residential school hasn't shaken you or shamed you enough to acknowledge your settler privilege, your white privilege, your prosperity and freedom at the expense of Indigenous folk, then this is the time to research and acknowledge where you actually come from. This province is still home to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people protected by 46 treaties across Ontario, and more specifically, the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt is an agreement and promise to the land and its people to share, contribute, and take care of its resources around the Great Lakes. Red Beti Theatre supports the Haudenosaunee Confederacy's Land Back Lane movement to protect Indigenous territory in Haldimand County. You can donate by clicking the link on your screen. Now to the festival. Centuries of European colonialism with patriarchal dogma being shoved down our throats cannot be easily undone. Decolonization will be a slow and painful process as we unpick the knots binding our cultures to reclaim agency over our minds, bodies, and land. Decolonize Your Ears New Play Festival is Red Beti Theatre's small contribution towards this goal. All 3 plays will usher you into worlds rarely seen by theatre audiences. And readings are an integral part of play development, and I hope that you'll download the feedback questionnaire to help the playwrights by sharing your impressions with them. I want to say a huge thank you to our festival sponsors, Canada Council for the Arts, City of Hamilton, Centre of Community Engaged Narrative Arts, Theatre Aquarius Outreach, Development and Education, and to all you lovely donors out there. You individuals, we couldn't have done this without your help. Thanks for tuning in, and join us for a live chat with the playwrights afterwards. Are you ready to decolonize your ears? You better be. Decolonize your fucking ears!
Mia enters.
I'm late. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It happens. You know the drill?
Mia sits and signs her intake forms.
You can have my autograph anytime. I wish we had 10 more sessions.
The last one is always difficult. But you're going to be okay.
You really think so?
Don't you?
I just wanted to say thank you for all the help you've given me over the last year. You've really given me so much to think about. So much to think about and reflect on. I'm so sorry. She does this all the time.
Your mom.
Fuck.
If you need to get it.
No, it's just my mom wants to know if she can get me groceries. I just went shopping. I don't need anything. All the food in my fridge is going to waste because I'll be too busy trying to eat what she got me, because if I don't eat it, she'll get angry.
People get angry sometimes.
Yeah, I'm grateful. Okay. I am. I just wish I wish I wasn't on call 24/7, and yet here we are. It's fine. No, it's not fine. It actually makes me pretty angry. She moved in with me.
Your mom moved in with you.
Yes.
When did that happen?
A few months ago.
The last time you were here, you were pretty adamant about not going through with it.
And here we are.
And here we are. What happened?
Nothing.
Clearly, something had to have happened. Something changed your mind.
She said she would go to therapy.
I see.
She won't, though. Go to therapy. She lied.
Why do you say that?
Because she got what she wanted. And there's no reason for her to follow through.
Strong words. I don't know your mother, but you really think that?
She didn't have a place to live. This is how she survives. It's happened before. You'd think I'd learn.
Are you regretting it?
Yeah, I think I am.
What made you think that this time would be different? Mia?
I was hopeful. Yeah, I thought maybe this time we could actually get along, or at least able to be in the same room without driving each other.
Sometimes children don't get it right. Sometimes parents don't get it right. You made this decision with your heart and not your head.
I guess I did.
What are you going to do about it? When you lived with her before, what was that like?
Confusing, mostly. I mean, I know that childhood is super confusing at the best of times. Like, what the hell is this new thing, and why is it important, and how do I implement it in my life? And, you know, when all I want to do is sit at a table and draw.
That's rather eloquent. You were a kid. You like to spend your time drawing.
Yeah. I started because I liked sniffing the markers. I'm kidding. I wasn't allowed to sniff the markers. I'm not kidding about that. Sorry, off topic. I'm pretty bad at drawing. Like, no, for real, like I am. But when it's nice and quiet and I have time to think, I don't know. It's just fun.
I can't draw either. We all have our strengths, and that's not one of mine.
We could start a club. You bring the Twizzlers? I used to sit at a table in the kitchen. It had the best light. My mom would be super annoyed that I had to take up so much space with all my art supplies and papers, but I don't give a I don't care. I could sit there in silence all day. I wanted to. A lot of the times, it was just safer.
What do you mean by safer?
If I just focused on my drawings, I didn't have to focus on what was going on around me.
And what was going on around you?
Chaos. A lot of yelling and screaming. Sometimes it was directed towards me, and sometimes it wasn't. But one time, I worked all day on this stupid little drawing of, I don't know, roses, I think. because it was the prettiest flower and you only gave them to someone you loved. So I drew them for her. And the entire time she was telling me to eat dinner, but all I wanted to do was finish this drawing of flowers so I can give them to her. Maybe then she wouldn't be so angry all the time. When I was finished, I chased her around that kitchen for what seemed like hours, just begging her to take the drawing I made for her, but she didn't. Eventually, I just gave up and sat down to eat, but when I did, all the plates of food were gone. I didn't even notice her putting them away. And then she yelled at me for taking too long to sit down, and it was too late to eat.
That sounds hard.
She used to do things like that. Take away something from me because I didn't do exactly what she wanted when she wanted it done. I would feel so bad for making her angry. But after something like that would happen, she'd always buy me something. I don't know, maybe she felt bad, but it was confusing. Like, you just made me angry, but here's a shiny new expensive thing to make you happy. Here's a new necklace, here's a new purse, here's the newest iPhone. Or, maybe she was just trying to train me.
How do you mean?
You've never heard of people trying to buy love?
I have. Do you think that's what she was trying to do?
You don't think so?
I've never met your mom. I can't say. But you seem to know the answer to that question. But it doesn't seem like you want to say it out loud. Why is that?
I'm scared.
Why?
Because I do know the answer. I don't like it. She said she was going to get help. She promised. She's going to let me down.
Are you going to check it?
I have to.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
Otherwise, that happens. She bought me a bunch of groceries, mostly candy and chocolates. I told her before I even left this morning that I didn't want anything if she went out.
Would she have gotten you food even if you didn't answer her messages?
Yeah, probably.
So, what would happen if you didn't answer her?
She would keep messaging or calling or, I don't know, maybe even come looking for me.
For how long?
What?
How long would she be looking for you?
I don't know.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Have you ever tried?
I live with her.
And?
And it's easier to just answer them than deal with the fallout of not answering them.
But you don't know what the fallout is. Not really.
I know what it's like when I take too long to answer her.
But you don't know what it's like if you stop answering her.
No.
What do you feel when you think about that?
Scared. Like someone's just taking the air out of my chest. Like I don't know what's going to happen.
You like to default to that emotion. Frightened. But you know, Mia, just because you start off that way, it doesn't mean you have to stay that way.
How is someone supposed to just be okay with the unknown when it's really scary?
Were you scared coming in to see me today?
No?
How come?
Well, it's a safe space here. It's our 10th session, our last session. I know I can trust you.
How about when the session is over? When you walk out the door and into the parking lot, are you going to feel safe then?
Yeah, I think so.
You'll get into your car and you'll start. Will you feel safe?
Mostly.
I hope this doesn't happen, but God forbid, anak ko, what if a car swerves into your lane?
What?
What if something falls from the sky and lands on you in the parking lot? What if the building is on fire right now and you and I simply don't know?
This isn't helping.
We can't control external factors. We have reasons to be scared all the time, but that doesn't mean we need to be. That doesn't mean we try to adjust our behaviors or try to exert control over things we frankly have no control over. How long will you live in fear over things that could happen? That's like letting something that doesn't even exist affect a large part of you every single day you let it. You're scared right now, and that's okay. But eventually, Mia, you're going to have to get up off the sofa and walk outside. Our last session will be over and I won't be able to see you anymore. That's not saying you can't find someone else, another psychologist or therapist to help you navigate through difficult situations. But day to day, are you going to live your life being scared of someone who has such intimate access to you? In your home where you're supposed to live, eat, sleep, what's that going to do to you? What's going to happen if you don't answer that?
The same thing that always happens.
And what is that? Tell me.
She'll take something away from me that she thinks I want or need. Like, if I ask her to grab me something the next time she goes grocery shopping, she'll probably snap at me and tell me she doesn't have time to go.
And then you'll go.
Yeah. And then the next day she'll come back with more groceries and a present. Like clockwork.
It comes full circle and then starts again. You know this.
Yeah.
So what will happen if you don't answer?
I don't know.
How does it feel?
Feels scary.
But is there any possibility that it's better than what's happening right now?
Well, yeah. Anything is possible.
Is it something you want to take a chance with? Or are you going to keep living this cycle?
I don't know.
What if you were the listener in this story?
What do you mean?
If someone else was telling you this story, a friend, what would you tell your friend if she was the one telling you about her situation with her mother?
I don't know. I would probably tell her to move out.
Why is that?
She doesn't deserve to be treated like less than.
So why do you?
Utang ng loob.
How much more of yourself do you need to give her until it's enough?
I thought it was forever.
It doesn't have to be.
That's not the rule.
What rule?
There's this air about the space where she likes to pretend she's taking care of me. She buys me things I'd never get for myself, but I'm the one taking care of her. If someone wasn't there, she'd fall apart. She doesn't know how to do anything herself because she's always making someone else do it for her. Usually it's me.
Does it have to be you?
I guess not.
You guess. Does it have to be you?
No, I guess she has friends that can...
Whose responsibility is it
Yeah.
to take care of themselves?
It's our own responsibility.
From what you've told me throughout our 10 sessions, even though you haven't really said it so succinctly, is no one's taking care of you. Not even when you were little. You've got to this point all on your own. You got through setbacks on your own. Would you say that's true?
Yes, I would. I never thought of it like that.
So you got here by yourself, with no one's help. Why can't your mom do that for herself?
She can't.
Why?
She never learned how to take care of herself.
Why hasn't she had to?
Because she's always had someone.
She's surrounded by people who keep enabling her,
Yeah.
including you.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Some people shouldn't have kids.
What?
I don't know. I know it's not my responsibility, but
But what?
otherwise she's all alone.
You didn't have anyone to take care of you. You grew up fast.
She doesn't understand. She doesn't understand. She needs to understand what this is doing to me, and she doesn't. If she doesn't, then she doesn't want to go to therapy. And if she doesn't go to therapy, then there's no point to it.
Is therapy really the issue here, Mia?
I don't know. I'm scared of the answer.
You know the answer.
Yeah, I do.
So what are you going to do? Mia? Mia.
Dad is at the wheel, driving. Jules is holding a bouquet of wildflowers, using a fountain pen to write on the accompanying card.
I will be there soon.
Whoa, a bump warning! Do you know how hard it is to write with these things?
And this is my fault, huh? Why? You waited until now to write the card.
Hey, do you like being called Gabriel or just Gabby?
Doesn't matter.
I don't know if this is supposed to be formal or not.
Gabi is fine. I like Gabi.
Oh, yikes. Thinking about, yeah.
It's the thought that counts. I like it.
Good, because even if the car wasn't moving, I don't think it could get any better than this. These pens are hard to write with.
Oh, I bought you that pen, huh? Not your mom and I. That was my present for you.
You know, most kids got like a laptop or an iPad for graduation.
Oh, but not you. Oh, my mistake for trying to get you something different.
A pen.
Oh, ba, you don't like it?
I love it. Thanks for
Oh,
driving
no.
me today. Like old times.
Old times. You mean when you're a kid?
When I was a kid, when I was a teenager, you know, you drove me around for a long time.
Well, I'm your dad. That's kind of my job.
I'm pretty sure your job is to teach me how to drive.
Well, I did. Diba?
Did you? Did you?
Yes. What?
Dad.
I got around to it eventually, diba?
You made Mom teach me how to drive.
Exactly.
Exactly what?
Did you learn how to drive? Oh.
I found a picture of us the other day.
Oh. We don't have many of those, do we? What was it?
Us at Disneyland. You're holding me up. I have a little pretzel in my hand and you're smiling and I'm like super unimpressed. It's on my fridge now.
When did we go to Disneyland? Joking. Of course, I can remember Disneyland. Nako, the churro was so expensive. It was a churro and you ran around looking for Bambi.
I don't like churros and I did not.
Well, you wanted one that day. And you got one. And you ran around the park all day. Where's Bambi? Where's Bambi? You said you wanted to make sure that the hunter did not get him too. Diba? Hey.
I maintain that scene was traumatic as a child.
Oh, yeah. Bambi's mom died. And my 4-year-old wouldn't stop crying. No.
It was sad.
You know what else was sad, huh? Watching cop movies with you after that. Oh.
Shut up.
All you needed was to hear a gun. And oh, you were gone. No.
Not my fault.
You picked Bambi. Oh.
You picked the cop movies.
No. You know, your mom was not happy about that.
She also wasn't happy when we turned the table over and made a fort. Remember? We shot her with water guns. She was mad.
Well, but all of a sudden, you were not afraid anymore.
Can I ask you some things?
Sure.
If you park here, we can go through the botanical gardens. Take the long way?
Okay.
They get out of the car. Jules carries the flowers.
It's really pretty out here.
Peaceful. I like it.
That's good. Why did you get me a fountain pen and not a laptop like a normal person?
Didn't you get a laptop just after graduation?
Yeah?
Well, it cost you a lot, didn't it?
Like 3 paychecks.
Oh, what happened to it?
Well, it got old, and I had to buy a new one last year.
Oh, how long did it last you?
About 4 years.
Oh, but you still have the pen.
Yeah.
Take care of it. It'll last forever.
Do you remember my graduation? They asked me to sing.
Oh,
I practiced that song for months. I couldn't wait for you to hear it. It was perfect. They called my name, and I got up on stage, and I looked for you the whole time. It was a big church, and I couldn't find you. And then I went back to my seat and looked for you some more. I didn't even know you were there until someone said they saw you leaving after the ceremony. Do you remember that? It was the same in school. I tried to save you a seat for all my plays, all my speeches, even that one stupid science fair project that I didn't understand. You always stood at the back, and you always left before I could find you.
the flowers you picked are really beautiful, huh?
Dad,
What?
are you proud of me?
What?
Are you proud of me?
Should I be? We're almost there.
I don't know. You've never actually said it. And I've never actually asked you.
Oh, we're here.
We can stop for a second.
I know we can't. We need to keep going. So, di ba?
Are you proud of me? Dad, I need to know.
Anak.
Dad. Please. Dad.
One day, when you're a little older than you are now, and you look back and think about what I did, standing in the back, leaving right after your ceremony, but it had nothing to do with how much I love you. You know I love you.
What?
He takes a step back. We see her and the grave. She places the wildflowers on the ground.
To you, Gabby. Dad. Thinking about you.
Good morning, Sydney. I'm Violet. I'll be your guide through the White Room.
Good morning, Violet.
How are you today?
Fine.
I like your flower.
Thank you.
It goes well with the room.
I think so.
Where did you get it?
It was growing in the yard outside when they were bringing me over from Yellow. I wanted it, so I brought it inside.
Is there water in the vase?
Of course there's water in the vase.
Here are your morning updates. It is 8:30 a.m. and day 1 in the White Room. Your breakfast will consist of banana chocolate chip pancakes with whipped cream and maple syrup and orange juice without pulp. It will be served in 60 minutes.
No pulp. And chocolate chips. You're spoiling me here, Violet.
Your progress is rated as good. Estimated 40 days left in the White Room.
40 days, and then I can leave.
Estimated.
Yeah, sure.
You'll find very quickly that things are different here, Sydney. Estimated 45 days left in the White Room.
What the hell? Violet!
The White Room is different. I'm here to fix your mind. I can't do that unless you're agreeable.
What?
Agreeable. Estimated 46 days left in the White Room.
How are you gonna do that?
That's up to you now, isn't it? Continue with your daily routines. Keep your mind open. Take care of your flower.
Dandelion. It's a dandelion.
Take care of your dandelion, Sydney. Good morning, Sydney. It is 8:30 a.m. and day 10 in the White Room. Your breakfast will consist of a crepe with eggs and mixed vegetables and a glass of apple juice. It will be served in 63 minutes. Your progress is rated as good. Estimated 52 days left in the White Room. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
You don't seem fine.
I don't know what you mean.
Your clothes are disheveled. Your facial expression is rather unpleasing to look at. Are you unsatisfied with the level of care here in the White Room? You're still having difficulties adjusting to the requirements of this room. It's perfectly normal. But if you want to be back outside in the real world, the work we're doing is unavoidable.
Or what if I don't? What if I like my clothes like this? What if I don't want to smile today?
This isn't about what you want, Sydney. This is about what we need from you. We can't let you go if you're going to cause trouble. Do you understand? Good. Estimated 51 days left in the White Room.
Am I ever going to get out of here?
As I've said, that depends entirely on you. If you stick to the routines, if you do the work, you'll get better.
I'll get better?
Yes. It's been 10 days since you transitioned into the White Room. Are you finally ready to do some work?
Yes.
Good. Let's begin. Why are you here?
My intake form says I have an antisocial personality disorder.
I know. There are pages upon pages of notes and observations from long before you even came here. That diagnosis is just the latest in long history. Do you remember when I told you this room would be different?
Yes.
I could send your file to your room and you could read it from beginning to end. You could memorize all of the observations made since your arrival, and even go back further to try and figure out what it is that went wrong in your life that led you to this very moment. But doing all that wouldn't give me the answer I'm looking for.
Then I don't understand the question.
Why are you here? I'll leave you to ponder that for today. Estimated 51 days left in the White Room.
Lights dim.
Good morning, Sydney. It is 8:15 a.m. and day 67 in the White Room. Your breakfast will consist of egg whites on toast and a glass of grape juice. It will be served in 73 minutes. Your progress is rated as good. Estimated 89 days left in the White Room.
I don't like grape juice.
Menu items are final. How are you doing today, Sydney?
I don't know.
Don't know what?
How to answer your question. I don't know why I'm here.
I see.
I don't know what to tell you. I have an antisocial personality disorder. People didn't like it. I was angry all the time. I felt lost. I don't know what to call that except what you've called it.
Interesting. Do you remember what it makes our facility different from others?
You only admit volunteers.
Exactly. Sydney, you didn't have to come here. Something made you trust us with your life. You know, deep down, we know what's best for you, and that's why you gave us the power to decide when you were better. You didn't have to sign the forms. You go through the red room, or the yellow room, or the white room. But something brought you here.
Antisocial personality.
No.
You know I didn't volunteer.
You did.
I didn't.
Estimated 90 days left in the White Room.
I didn't volunteer.
Estimated 90...
Okay. I feel broken on the inside and I don't know how to fix it.
Is that why you're here?
Yes, I need you to fix it.
Good. Your progress is rated as good. Estimated 88 days left in the White Room.
Lights dim.
Good morning, Sydney. It is 7:23 a.m. and day 237 in the White Room. Your breakfast will consist of 2 hard-boiled eggs, a slice of toast with peanut butter, and orange juice with pulp. It will be served in 67 minutes. Your progress is rated as fair. Estimated 1,295 days left in the White Room. How are you feeling today, Sydney? How are you feeling today, Sydney? Estimated 1,301 days left in the White Room.
Fuck! I'm fine! Can't I just not want to fucking talk for a while? We were at it for hours yesterday. Aren't you always telling me that being too little is better than being too much?
Your progress is rated as needs improvement. Estimated 1,390 days left in the White Room.
I don't want to talk to you today.
Estimated one...
Okay, we can talk.
Progress rated at...
Okay. I said we could talk.
How are you feeling today, Sydney?
I'm feeling good. Happy, even. Yesterday's talk about whatever the fuck really gave me some things to think about. It was a shit. I love it here.
I'm convinced. What kind of things have you thought about?
You know, like all the things you're saying, that you've been saying. Sydney, you need to be agreeable. Saying too little is better than saying too much. When are you going to let me out? I want to know. Give me a day. Give me a time.
I can't give you that. Only you know the answer to that, and I need you to show me how much progress you've made before I can even think about letting you out. How much self-reflection and acceptance you have that you're broken and you need fixing. When you're better, I can think about letting you out.
I don't even know what that means.
You don't have to. I know what's best for you.
How am I supposed to get better if I don't know what better is supposed to be? Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with me.
You don't?
No.
Then why are you here? You came here because you thought something was wrong with you, and we were the only ones that would help you. You were alone. You were helpless. You said it yourself. You felt broken and you wanted us to fix you. Now look at you. You're clothed, you adhere to daily routine, and you're going to get better.
I'm better now. I'm ready to leave.
You're not even close.
Sydney stands up slowly. She walks towards the door.
You're not fixed yet. You know I'm right. Sit down, stay quiet. Try to sort out what's in your head for tomorrow's session. Be better. Estimated 1,395 days left in the White Room. Good morning, Sydney. It is 5:22 a.m. and day 672 in the White Room. Your breakfast will consist of plain hash browns, 2 pieces of sliced ham, and a glass of ice water. It will be served in 3 hours and 8 minutes. Your progress is rated as poor. Estimated 1,295 days left in the White Room. How are you feeling today, Sydney?
Sleepy. Hungry.
Breakfast will be served in 3 hours and 7 minutes. Did you give thought to our conversation yesterday?
Oh,
No.
no.
You don't?
Give a fuck.
About your mind?
No.
About yourself?
No.
About your life?
No.
This is not White Room behavior. This is Yellow Room behavior.
What?
You are exhibiting characteristics from the Yellow Room. Maybe you need to go back. Do you remember Yellow?
Yeah, but you can't just put me back in there. That's not how this works. I can't go back a room.
On the contrary, Sydney, that is exactly how this works. Do you remember?
I'm not going back to the Yellow Room.
Do you remember? We offered you a place to stay. We gave you safety and structure. 600 days in the Red Room, 885 days in the yellow room, and now 672 days in the white room.
I'm not fucking going back.
The average stay in the white room is 44 days. There's only been one other person who has exceeded your stay, and we were not able to help them.
Did you fucking send them back to the yellow room, too?
No. They're in the red room. Do you remember the red room?
Yes, I remember.
Or do you need a reminder?
No, I don't. I remember. I want to get out of here.
You are not ready. An escort is on their way to transport you back to the yellow room.
No, I want to leave. Let me get out of here. I'm ready.
Incorrect. You are not ready. An escort is on their way to transport you back to the yellow room.
Please don't.
Would you rather go to the red room?
No, I want to stay right fucking here.
What?
I don't want to go back. I want to stay right here.
Progress rated at needs improvement. Estimated 1,299 days in the white room. How are you feeling now, Sydney?
I just want to be better.
Progress rated at fair. Good morning, Sydney. It is 4:49 a.m. and day 1408 in the white room. Your breakfast will consist of raisin bran cereal served with milk and a glass of apple juice. It will be served in 46 minutes. Your progress is rated as excellent. Estimated 0 days left in the white room. How are you feeling today, Sydney?
Morning, Violet. I'm feeling great.
I'm very glad to hear that.
Yep. Looking forward to that raisin bran.
You're very energetic this morning.
Oh, well, who wouldn't be? I'm getting out today.
Out?
Yeah, of the white room. You just said it. Estimated 0 days left in the white room. I've been counting down for months now. Do you want to join me for breakfast? I feel like it's about time we actually, talk face to face.
We're unable to do that today.
What? Is that like against the rules? Can't show your face or you'd have to kill me?
No, I mean, you're incorrect. You are not leaving the white room today.
I'm not?
No.
Why not? I don't have any days left.
You're not ready.
But I did everything you asked. I told you everything. I stuck to the schedule. I stopped complaining. I did everything. I was good. I got better. How else could I prove it to you?
You are not ready. Your progress is rated as Fair. Estimated 2 days left in the White Room.
How?
You are not ready.
Why?
Your progress is rated as poor. Estimated 23 days left in the White Room.
You're kidding me. How much longer are you planning to keep me here?
Until you're better.
I am better.
You are not.
I am.
You are not.
I am. I'm better. I know I'm better. How about you?
What?
Are you better? Are you fixed? The mysterious voice from this box?
This isn't about me.
Why not? Not everything can be about me.
You're the one thing that needs fixing.
Did you go through it too? The red room, where you go until you stop screaming. And yellow, where they run you until you're too tired to walk, to think. Did you make it to yellow, Violet?
This is not White Room behavior.
You don't need any fixing? You're too perfect?
You're not ready to leave, Sydney.
Did you make it to the White Room?
I don't need rooms. I'm not like you.
Or a voice from a speaker box tries to convince you that you're broken. That all the thoughts you have in your head are problems to be fixed.
They do need to be fixed.
Well, what if they're not problems?
Estimated
Forever in the White Room. Ugh.
days left in the White Room.
What if they're not problems?
We hear Violet repeating estimated days left on the intercom. It slowly fades away. Sydney goes into her dance. She plucks the dry dandelion from the vase. She finishes and sits in the middle of the stage and stares out into the audience, twirling the dried flower in her fingers. She begins to pull petals off the flower, one by one.
We've only just begun.
Hello, everyone. I'm back.
Hi, Raya.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Great. I want to thank our ASL interpreters, the fabulous Marcia and Latasha. And Joanne, before I get to you, I want to tell everyone that this is a new play development festival. So if you have any questions for Joanne, please put your questions in the chat right now. Producer Claire will also put the Playwright feedback questionnaire in the chat. And if you can answer these questions, you can email them back to info@redbetitheatre.org. And now I'd like to introduce you to our fabulous playwright, Joanne Roberts. Wow, how are you feeling after that?
I'm feeling pretty overwhelmed. This is my first play, and so just hearing it being spoken aloud, and seeing the finals with all of the sound effects that you've come up with, that Karen has so graciously put into my script. It's so overwhelming, and it's so lovely. I'm so grateful and very humbled at the moment.
Yeah, it's such a great feeling when you experience your play for the first time. I know exactly what you mean. I wish that we could have done this in real life, in outdoors where everybody was there, and we're missing that. We certainly are missing that, but I'm so glad that we got to do this. And that play of yours hit a nerve with me, and I think probably with a lot of people,
I think so. Yeah, it hit a note with me too, and I wrote it. So,
what moved you to write this play?
I think it, for me, writing is just a way of exploring my inner emotions, and certainly being able to speak so publicly about these experiences, knowing that I'm not by myself, knowing that so many people can relate to these stories, whether they're Filipino or not. That gives me a lot of strength and helps me heal as well.
Yeah. I think that there's a real depth of feeling in there that many people will understand and get in touch about, because I feel that a lot of people's there was this one line in your play which really resonated with me, was, what if there's nothing wrong? What if there's nothing wrong? What if we're meant to feel this depth of emotion? I mean, I sometimes feel that society tries to regulate emotion in that we're not allowed to feel. We're not meant to feel deeply. We're not meant to feel sorrow, so much sorrow. We're not meant to feel so much joy. Well, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I very recently had a conversation with one of my friends, Macrina, who's watching. Hey, Macrina. And I was just very internally fighting with my body and my thoughts. And I was like, I shouldn't be feeling this way. I shouldn't be feeling so negative or so sad or so angry. And she very, very politely said, but what if this is just your body going through what it needs to go through? And what if this negativity that you're feeling is not as bad as you think it is? What if we just turn this into being grateful for feeling this way and growing from it and learning from it? And that really resonated with me. And I think that's a big thing. I think that when we grow up in a marginalized group in this country, I think that we're fighting a lot with ourselves and our natural state of being, for sure. And I don't know that we should. What if these problems aren't problems? And what if these things in our head deserve to be there?
I actually agree with you. I do, because I do think that to sanitize society, we are meant to keep our emotions in check, but actually I believe that emotions there and the energy inside you, sometimes you need to purge. No, you really do need to purge. Yeah. If there's great tragedy, you need to cry. You need to get that feeling out. I think it's actually very dangerous to repress that, and I think that in terms of children especially, it's very dangerous, because children are being medicated for being children. We're just doing the things that children do. So when you were writing this play, this is your first play, and how did you find the process working with the dramaturg and writing your many drafts before you got to this?
All of this was, it's so very new to me. And so I was really grateful to have Dawn and Michelle hold my hand through the entire thing. I remember our first conversation. I came into this process thinking that every single draft had to be very, very perfect and steady. And she very graciously explained to me that wasn't the case. And so she really pushed me, instead of writing a perfect draft every time, to make things messy and not finish anything. And so there was this process of growing and learning that I could just leave certain elements to the side and work on very specific things and then revisit everything else in the next drop. So it was a huge learning experience for me. And it really pushed me creatively. And I think that I gained a lot of very useful skills. And if I'm being honest, I think that I found a really good spot in my artistic practice that I like. I like writing plays a lot. And coming from a background as an actor, it's a different realm of responsibility, but one that I really welcome. And it's powerful being able to tell your own story of your choosing, a story of your creation, versus as an actor telling somebody else's story. So it's very different, but so welcome.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And once you get used to it, you can. There's so much you can do, and there's so many stories that you can tell. And really, I said this yesterday, that those who have the power over the narrative have power. You can tell your stories. Now, finally, we're having the ability to share our stories, these unique stories that you can tell, that I can tell, that Melissa can tell, that really aren't heard very often. So this is really great. What else did you gain from this process?
It might sound cheesy, but I think that I gained a lot of close relationships. Like I feel very close to Karen, even though we've only spoken a few times, but just being able to bond over the material and even with the actors who I haven't spoken to very much, there was this sense of closeness being an all Filipino cast. And that's something that I'm so proud to have helped facilitate. And thank you so much for this. And it's different being in a room with creatives of color. And I mean, I'm sure that you can feel it also. I mean, we don't really get very many outlets to share our stories. And there's just this underlying sense of understanding and safety. And that is a feeling that I haven't captured in theater as of yet until now. It's certainly something that I just want to keep fostering as I keep writing and keep bringing together groups of creatives. So yeah, it was wonderful. Took away a lot of good things.
Yeah, it is wonderful, and you can become very much quickly like a family, and it's kind of bittersweet because every time you put on a show in your production, you become like a little family, and then the show closes and everybody goes their own way. But you see each other, and that love is still there, and the relationships grow. It is wonderful. And Karen, you rock. Karen is a collaborator with Red Beti Theatre from a long time back, and she's a powerful, strong storytelling woman. So I'm really glad that she was able to, and she was so excited about having a full Filipino cast, because absolutely you should. If all the characters are, then you should, and there's no reason why you shouldn't, and you did, and that's so cool. What would you say was the most difficult part of this process?
I think that during the writing process, I think it's pretty clear that there is a character in each of the play that is meant to be the protagonist, and there's always that other character. So we usually have these two characters bouncing off of each other. And for me, it was trying to find a good balance, because there really isn't an antagonist in this story. All of these characters, all of these people are very real people, and none of them are malicious. They're just trying to figure out life and coping mechanisms and relationships just like everybody else. And I really didn't want to single out anyone as the bad guy here. And so that was a difficult balance, tiptoeing on that line of these are malicious things that this character is doing, but they're not a malicious person.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's one thing that I've also found, is that just because somebody does something bad doesn't make them bad. So it's it's the duality of being a human, really. We tend to, we're complex. And I think you can really explore that complexity as a playwright. it's pretty wonderful. We have a question from somebody who's typed in a question. You explored realism to surrealism. Can you speak about why you chose to work in those different genres? It's a question from the audience.
I think that as I went through the process of healing and discovery, I realized that my situation is sort of a little bizarre. These very common denominators that I find in Filipino households, sometimes they're a little difficult to believe. So as I kept pushing the limit of this play, I kept pushing that line of realism right up until the end, where I was like, let's just throw everything out the window and let's stick her in a white room and just see what happens. Like that was, yeah. And I don't know, I wanted the stakes to get bigger, and I hope that worked. Was there a real reason? Not really. Just the whole surrealism of this entire situation of exploring my past experiences, understanding that these are very common situations, and also writing my first play and working towards this reading, which is still very surreal to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think you really did build those stakes towards the end. That was a very exciting last play, and I really liked the ideas of the different colored rooms and what they stood for. It's really neat.
Thank you.
What plans do you have for this, or dreams do you have for this play now that you have a good first solid draft that's been read?
Mm-hmm. I mean, other than moving on to the next draft, I'm hoping to present it here in my hometown. I can't wait to visit Hamilton. I have so many dear friends out there. But I also would like to share this with my theater community here. I think that these are stories that are very rarely heard out in Winnipeg as well. And I would love to be able to share that, to embrace the Filipino community and bring them into the world of theater as well. And I think I would love to be able to look for emerging artists in the city or in the province to play these roles and really experiment with them as we move towards a hopefully full production at some point. Big dreams, but fingers crossed.
Yeah, no, that's great, and I think there are many ways that you can do that. And I found that fringe festivals are a wonderful way to develop plays. Because you get access to a really good audience that you can learn a lot from. And I know that I developed a lot of my plays through the Fringe Festival, just the first time that I needed to see, because you have to test it out in front of an audience. And it can be so expensive producing plays. So that's wonderful. I'm really excited. If you have any other questions, please pop them into the chat. We still have a few more minutes left with Joanne. Meanwhile, I want to say thank you to Donna Michelle, to Karen Ancheta, and to all the wonderful actors, and again to our ASL interpreters. And to you, Joanne, do you have any parting words? Anything else you'd like to say?
Yes, I was peeping the comments. Thank you, everybody, for leaving such wonderful comments, and to all my friends that are watching the show, thanks for buying tickets. And I think I just wanted to say thank you, Radha. Thank you to Red Beti and Donna Michelle and Karen, our ASL interpreters, our actors, and my sister Cass and my Australian dad. Yeah, I'm just thankful and just want to share that gratefulness, and please reach out on social media if you can find me. I would love to chat and just open up. I think that's the point of this play, is just opening up more dialogue and making more connections with people who may feel that they're suffering by themselves, because you're not. And so just love to chat.
No, that's lovely. Well, thank you, Joanne. Everybody, we have one last play reading tomorrow. It's my MFA play, The Sheep. And I'll be chatting with my dramaturg, the incomparable Judith Thompson. How lucky am I? If you can join us tomorrow at 7 p.m., that would be grand. Thank you all for tuning in. And happy Pride, everybody. Happy Pride. Decolonize your ears, people. Take care, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.